Good afternoon. How are you? It's so good to see everyone joining us today for our Wolverine Caucus Forum. And who said that Wolverine Caucus could not be held on a Friday? This will be the first time in the history of our caucus series that we would have had it on a Friday. But the reason that we're doing it and filling the room yet is because of the three speakers we have with us today. Professors of Urban and Regional Planning from the University of Michigan, Professors Margi, Dewar, Joe Grengs, and June Thomas, who will be presenting to us about urban revitalization in Michigan, how very important it is to save our Michigan cities. And so without further ado, I know they're going to have a lot to say to you, so I'm not going to take up a moment of their very precious time that they're sharing with us today. World renowned in what they do. We are so honored to have you with us today, professors. And without further ado, June Thomas, would you come forward, please, and help me in welcoming our faculty today?
I'm not sure this is on, is it? Okay. Hello, everyone. I don't know about the world renowned, but here I am. And I also don't know about the, you're here because of the three of us. I hear it's a Friday, so maybe that's why you're here. But at any rate, what we'd like to do is give three short presentations about different aspects of urban revitalization in Michigan and in Detroit. And I'm the opening person to give an overview of what's going on in terms of what is urban revitalization, why is it important, and what is Michigan doing. So then we will essentially each of us take 15 or 20 minutes. We're aiming to leave pretty close to 30 minutes for question and answer, though of course you're welcome to stop at any time, stop us at any time. So just very briefly, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we know now in terms of the importance of cities, the implications of city underdevelopment, and a lot of this you may already know, but just to give an update in terms of what is the research saying right now. Talk a little bit about the status of cities and metropolitan areas in Michigan, and then offer some comments on Michigan's policy response. And first, I'd just like to point out that really there's been a sea change in thinking in urban scholarship about cities. There was a time 20, 30, 40 years ago when people actually were not sure cities were important. There was this idea that we weren't going to need cities anymore because communities are not essential when you have the internet and when you have all the things that we have in terms of electronic devices to connect us. There really was this concept. There was actually one author who called it community without propinquity, which suggested we don't need to be close to each other to have a civilized society. And of course now we know that this is not true, and there are a number of scholars, I've listed a few of them, who have suggested that indeed cities are extremely important, particularly in terms of the global economy. And I've listed, for example, Saskia Sassen is one such sociologist, and what she says is that it's becoming more important to recognize the essential nature of cities in terms of the global economy. And this is worldwide. This is not just in the United States, it's not just in Europe, but worldwide it seems that we actually are seeing cities are more important than anyone anticipated 30 or 40 years ago. Michael Porter also had some theories about clustering of economic activities, which suggested that place does matter. You need to cluster economic activities in order to have some sort of synergy and some sort of mutual cooperation among the different actors. Richard Florida has said much the same thing in terms of suggesting we need urban amenities. Terry Clark has written a lot about this in terms of leisure. Oh, so it wasn't working. I thought it wasn't working. Guys, I have a cold, so please forgive me. I don't have a lot of voice volume anyway. Is that better? Yes, you look so much happier. I was wondering what was wrong. I thought it was me, but anyway. And then Thomas Hutton is another person who's written about this quite a lot lately in terms of Vancouver. And he's essentially pointed out that the new economy is clustering in urban places. And when people who are involved in finance or in design or other fields like that, when they're really looking to move to a certain place, they're looking for urban environments. They aren't moving out in the middle of nowhere, which is where people thought they might move in previous years, because they thought that basically the city was not important. So, indeed, cities continue to be important. Here are some here's a summary of what they said then. Cities are essential for economic function in the global economy. This is from Saskia Sassen. Basically, the world cities are running the world's economy. It's Tokyo, it's Beijing, it's London, it's New York. It's not, I won't name any place in case I would cast aspersions on anyone's hometown, but it's not any small town. You know, it's not a collection of small towns. It is essentially the big cities which are running the global economy. So we have this new economy which seems to like cities because of the nature of advanced services. Particularly according to Saskin's research, particularly the financial sector appears to love the agglomeration that you find with cities. They love to be at Wall Street, on Wall Street, or in certain financial districts. They like face-to-face communications. Maybe they don't trust each other. I don't know what that's about, but for some reason they're wanting to be together, and cities provide that kind of venue. Both social and economic agglomeration. So they're clustering not just because it makes sense in terms of the economy and in terms of clustering, but they're clustering as well because of social benefits that come from being together. So you're finding these new, these people who are essentially in the new economy who want to be with other people who are in the new economy. You find people from Google who want to be in a certain environment, people with certain kinds of electronic capabilities who want to be with other people with electronic capabilities. And so it really is a social scene as well. And that leads, of course, to clubs and music and all the other things that come with some of these places. Resulting attraction of key populations and economic activities, so they are being attracted to these places as well. They are also an effective way to safeguard public investment in infrastructure because, of course, when you are looking at improving, when you are looking at how do we essentially build and make sure that the public investment doesn't go to waste, one thing you don't want to do is to abandon the places where people have been living for years and years. If you have to go and rebuild that infrastructure someplace else, it's going to cost in public dollars. So they're an effective way to safeguard that investment and to help ensure both social equity and environmental sustainability. And we know from experience that if we don't have some sort of social equity, we have social disruption. And we know if we don't have some sort of environmental sustainability, we have global warming and we have other kinds of disbenefits. So there are a lot of benefits to cities. And I'm giving, this is like that's the 3-minute version of a good course in terms of the importance of cities. Why do we still have cities? What are we learning about the particular benefits of cities, et cetera? And that, by the way, that picture is just basically a night spot in Vancouver, which is the place that Hutton has written about the most. And Vancouver's on my mind. Not that I'm a winter sports person, but I mean, there is something going on called the Olympics. So the implications of not valuing cities are really pretty serious. And I want to